Good evening, church. It's good to be back to the building, at least to visit for teaching. And I hope that you will also enjoy our journey through the book of Numbers. I think we have gotten a little bit of experience of this wilderness wandering during these past couple months. So we better know what we're talking about. We have a couple announcements for this evening. First off, we are planning to resume our meetings in about 1 month, the 17th of June, it's a Wednesday. And we will first resume the Wednesday evening studies on the church premises. Sundays will still continue online. And this is the plan at the moment, and we will keep you updated as we'll get more information. As those of you who were about to come to Scandinavian conference probably have received an email. It's been cancelled for this year, so hopefully next year things go better, and hopefully this situation gets resolved soon. And other announcements, we have a men's meeting in Zoom on Monday 25th. You men who want to join, please send your email addresses to Kyle so he's able to send you the link to the Zoom meeting, and we will meet online. And we have done it once now. This is now the second time of live men's meetings. And one more announcement about the church library. If you have been missing good books to read, we have made a deal with Logos, or Faith Life. It's the owner of Logos Bible software. And they have provided us 818 resources for free to distribute online so they are available to use until the end of June. So if you have a Logos account, you can go to faithlife.com and go to group Calvary Chapel Turku. And just by following it, those resources will be automatically added to your library. If you don't have a Logos account, you can create one for free, and then do the same. Go to faithlife.com, go to group Calvary Chapel Turku, and click join or follow. And you should be having those resources added. Then you're able to install the Logos app to your phone or iPad or computer, or whatever device you prefer to use. They have the app available for quite many platforms. So those will be automatically added and downloaded when you log in with your Faith Life account to your Logos software. So yeah, that's, I think, all the announcements. This evening we are in Numbers, hopefully chapters 8 through 10. I'm still going through the introductory chapters of the book before we are getting to the more devotional part of Numbers, starting next time in chapter 11. So today, let's open our Bibles to Numbers chapter 8 and start our journey. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron and say to him, when you arrange the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light in front of the lampstand." And Aaron did so. He arranged the lamps to face toward the front of the lampstands, as the Lord commanded Moses. Now this workmanship of the lampstands was hammered gold, from its shaft to its flowers. It was hammered work, according to the pattern which the Lord had shown Moses. So he made the lampstands. We have learned a lot about the tabernacle, about all the furniture therein. We have learned about this table, and we have also learned of the 12 showbreads that were always on the table, presenting the 12 tribes of Israel. And now these lampstands are located so that they're always facing those breads. They're always shining light on those 12 loaves of bread. And I think it's a fitting image of how God is always watching his people. He's always watching his people Israel, but he's also watching us, his church. And even in these different times, these abnormal times, we can trust that He is watching. He knows what we are going through. He is present with us. And we can always turn to Him. He is always there to reach His hand for us. So what we are called to do is to lift our eyes to the cross of Christ and trust Him. So continuing from verse 5, then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take the Levites from among the children of Israel and cleanse them ceremonially. Thus you shall do to them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of purification on them, and let them shave all their body, and let them wash their clothes, and so make themselves clean. Then let them take a young bull with its grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, and you shall take another young bull as a sin offering. And you shall bring the Levites before the tabernacle of meeting, and you shall gather together the whole congregation of the children of Israel. So you shall bring the Levites before the Lord, and the children of Israel shall lay their hands on the Levites, and Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord like a wave offering from the children of Israel, that they may perform the work of the Lord. Then the Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the young bulls, and you shall offer one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering to the Lord, to make atonement for the Levites. And you shall stand the Levites before Aaron and his sons, and then offer them like a wave offering to the Lord. Thus you shall separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. After the Levites shall go in to service the tabernacle of meeting, so you shall cleanse them and offer them like a wave offering, for they are wholly given to me from among the children of Israel. I have taken them for myself, instead of all who open the womb, the firstborn of all the children of Israel. For all the firstborn among the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I struck all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them to myself. I have taken the Levites instead of all the firstborn of the children of Israel, and I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the work for the children of Israel in the tabernacle of meeting, and to make atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel when the children of Israel come near the sanctuary. Thus Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according to all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So the children of Israel did to them, and the Levites purified themselves and washed their clothes. Then Aaron presented them like a wave offering before the Lord, and Aaron made atonement for them to cleanse them. After that the Levites went in to do their work in the tabernacle of meeting before Aaron and his sons, as the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So they did to them. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "This is what pertains to the Levites. From 25 years old and above, one may enter to perform service in the work of the tabernacle of meeting, and at the age of 50 years they must cease performing this work, and shall work no more. They may minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of meeting, to attend to needs, but they themselves shall do no work. Thus you shall do to the Levites regarding their duties." Somehow I'm really happy about these words, how it says that they did according to all that Lord told them. And at the same time, it feels a little disappointing to know what is coming to them. Things go so well as long as they followed God. They were given really clear instructions. I almost wish that we would get as clear instructions about do this, do that, and so on, and things would go as planned. But yeah, they received clear instructions and they obeyed them, and things went really well. Of the Levites, it was told that their service starts from age 25 and it ends at age 50. And actually, in another place, we learned that first there was this kind of five-year period of learning the work from 25 to 30, and from 30 to 50 they were actually serving. So that's the time of their service, 20 years of career with 5 years of learning. It's a interesting balance. I guess we have a little bit of the same with our school years in Finland. So the Passover, the second time Israel had Passover, from chapter 9. Now the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first month of the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, "Let the children of Israel keep the Passover at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this month, at twilight, you shall keep it at its appointed time. According to all its rites and ceremonies, you shall keep it." So Moses told the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover, and they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month, at twilight in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So the children of Israel did. Now there were certain men who were defiled by a human corpse, so that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and Aaron that day. And those men said to him, "We became defiled by a human corpse. Why are we kept from presenting the offering of the Lord at its appointed time among the children of Israel?" And Moses said to them, "Stand still, that I may hear what the Lord will command concerning you." Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, saying, if any one of you or your posterity is unclean because of a corpse, or is far away on a journey, he may still keep the Lord's Passover. On the 14th day of the second month at twilight, they may keep it. They shall eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until morning, nor break one of its bones. According to all the ordinances of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man who is clean and is not on a journey and ceases to keep the Passover, that same person shall be cut off from among his people, because he did not bring the offering of the Lord at its appointed time. That man shall bear his sin. And if a stranger dwells among you and would keep the Lord's Passover, he must do so according to the rite of the Passover and according to its ceremony. You shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger and the native of the land." First in verse 8, they came with a question to Moses. And Moses answered, "Stand still, that I may hear what the Lord will command concerning you." I think that's an amazing example for all of us. Because when people come with questions, we often feel tempted to give some sort of clever answer, just to appear smart or for other fleshly reasons. We want to give the answer right away, instead of having the humbleness and bravery to say, wait a moment, I have to pray first. Like, I have to ask God, I don't know. Because that is probably quite often the right answer, is that we don't really know. And we should seek the counsel of God before rushing to give answers to men. And to be careful about how we answer or lead people, so we don't lead anyone astray. And then what came to Passover in verse 14, the command that the Lord gave of the stranger, it's clear here that even from the beginning, God was welcoming strangers to come to the Passover table. Not only the Israelites, but he said in verse 14, "And if a stranger dwells among you and would keep the Lord's Passover, he must do so according to the rite of the Passover and according to its ceremony. You shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger and the native of the land." It was never God's will to exclude us from Passover. He always wanted to welcome also the Gentiles, the nations that are not Jews, also to participate of the Passover, to come to fellowship with him. Let's continue from verse 15. Now on the day that the tabernacle was raised up, the cloud covered the tabernacle. The tenth of the testimony, from evening until morning, it was above the tabernacle like the appearance of fire. So it was always. The cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tabernacle, after that the children of Israel would journey, and in the place where the cloud settled, there the children of Israel would pitch their tents. At the command of the Lord, the children of Israel would journey, and at the command of the Lord, they would camp. As long as the cloud stayed above the tabernacle, they remained encamped. Even when the cloud continued long, many days, above the tabernacle, the children of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and did not journey. So it was, when the cloud was above the tabernacle a few days, according to the command of the Lord, they would remain encamped, and according to the command of the Lord, they would journey. So it was, when the cloud remained only from evening until morning. When the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they would journey, whether by day or by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up, they would journey. Whether it was 2 days, a month, or a year that the cloud remained above the tabernacle, the children of Israel would remain encamped and not journey. But when it was taken up, they would journey. At the command of the Lord, they remained encamped, and at the command of the Lord, they journeyed. They kept the charge of the Lord at the command of the Lord by the hand of Moses. So again, we are told that they kept the word spoken by Moses. They kept the word of God given to them. The Levites had to always be ready to gather up the tent and move the tabernacle, and also they were always to be ready to set up the tent, the tabernacle again, and kept encamped. It's a, I think, good reminder for us as well to not get too deeply rooted in our lives in this world, according to ways of this world, so that when God tells us to gather up our stuff and move, it wouldn't feel too bothersome for us to move, but we would be always ready to hear him, whatever he has for us, so that we would actually be his servants as we are proclaiming to be. Studying for this, I ran into one of my old notes from a lecture given by Phil Metzger, where I had written down a quote from him saying, making the presence of God a focal point for life. And his point was that it was important for the people to be gathered together so that they would see when the cloud was taken up. Someone would notice that, okay, God is moving, and they would tell the others, and whole camp would be moving. But if someone would have been separated from the camp, they wouldn't have noticed when the camp is moving. They would have been left behind. And he was back then saying how it's important for us to stick into God's family, to stay in the community of the other brothers and sisters. And in these days, since we haven't seen each other for a long, long time, we've been hopefully calling for each other and staying in touch with each other, following the sermons, hopefully studying the Bible at home together with their families, praying together, praying for each other. But I think for me, it's been a healthy reminder of how important the church is, how the church is not the building, the church is us, the people. It's important for us as the church to be one, to be united. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully soon fellowship with all of you again, to gather again to the church, to the place we meet in, to listen to teachings, to drink the coffee, to fellowship, to share our lives. And I really want to recommend you or encourage you now, still in these weeks of this lockdown, that this hopefully, and at the moment with the information easing up soon, to call to others, to check of your friends, of the people of the church you know, or people who come to your mind, who maybe God lifts up to your mind, to call them or message them how they are doing or how you could pray for them, and to be encouraging each other. I think this has been a difficult time for many people, and it has been a difficult time for the church. It's also been a time where I've really noticed how when one member of the church, of the body, is suffering, it affects everyone. It affects the whole body. It's really important for us to keep each other in mind, to keep the church, the people in mind, and to be mindful of each other, to not only remember ourselves, but if we have strength and maybe verse to share, we should reach out and share those verses, to share the encouragement that God is encouraging us with, to bless each other with whatever means that God may lead you. So I want to encourage you to be prayerful and to pray that we would really be able to open the church soon, that we would really be able to gather together soon so that it's safe and wise. So chapter 10, the last part of the preparation for the children of Israel. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Make 2 silver trumpets for yourself. You shall make them of hammered work. You shall use them for calling the congregation and for directing the movement of the camps. When they blow, both of them, all the congregation shall gather before you at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. But if they blow only one, then the leaders, the heads of the divisions of Israel, shall gather to you. When you sound the advance, the camps that lie in the east side shall then begin their journey. When you sound the advance the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall begin their journey. They shall sound the call for them to begin their journeys, and when the assembly is to be gathered together, you shall blow, but not sound the advance. The sons of Aaron, the priest, shall blow the trumpets, and they shall be to you as an ordinance forever throughout your generations. When you go to war in your land against the enemy who oppress you, then you shall sound an alarm with the trumpets, that you will be remembered before the Lord your God, and you will be saved from your enemies. Also in the day of your gladness, in your appointed feasts, and at the beginning of your months, you shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings. And they shall be a memorial for you before your God. I am the Lord your God." For many chapters, for a few books since Exodus, where the children of Israel arrived to Mount Sinai, God has been preparing the nation. It's been about a year that they have been there at the Mount Sinai. And they have prepared all the furniture of the tabernacle, and they have been given all the ordinances. The camp has been ordered to certain shape and to certain order, tribe by tribe. The certain tasks are given to certain people. And now these 2 silver trumpets are the last thing to prepare. And they're also told to bring those trumpets with them to the promised land and to remember them and to use them. It is something to be noted in verse 8, that it is the sons of Aaron, the priest, who shall blow the trumpets. It's not generals, it's not other leaders. As in any other nation, if we go to war, it's the generals who are leading us. But for children of Israel, it was to be the priests, the sons of Aaron, who were to blow their trumpets and who were to guide the people, because God was to be their king. And for us, in the new covenant, Christ is our king. we are to follow in his footsteps. We are to follow his command. It's instead of a general, we have a king who cares for us and who loves us and who remembers us. So it's good to keep that in mind. In whatever the life brings, whatever happens, we have a king who cares for us. We have a king who is personally leading us. And that is far better than any other nation or any other people group could say. So then, in the end of the chapter, we have the departure from Sinai. Now that the people is ordered, their journey through the wilderness is starting. And the journey described in the book of Numbers takes about 38 years. So we are going to have some chapters ahead of us. But going to those chapters, it's good to remember that it's 38 years, 38 long years in the wilderness. And what we have in the book of Numbers, it was God so important to share for us. We only have few incidences from all those 38 years. And we should remember that it is inspired by God. It is a book that he wanted to give us. So if he is so important to give these chapters for us, we should cherish them. We should be excited to study them. And as I said in the beginning, I see that the book of Numbers from chapter 11 onward, it's quite devotional. And it's really relatable. And I hope that we are really getting into all that in the coming times in the book. But let's now finish the chapter 10. So from verse 11. Now it came to pass on the 20th day of the second month in the second year that the cloud was taken up from above the tabernacle of the testimony. And the children of Israel set out from the wilderness of Sinai on their journeys. Then the cloud settled down in the wilderness of Paran. So they started out for the first time according to the command of the Lord by the hand of Moses. The standard of the camp of the children of Judah set out first according to their armies. Over their army was Nahson, the son of Amminadab. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nethanel, the son of Zuar. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Zebulun was Eliab, the son of Helon. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari set out, carrying the tabernacle. And the standard of the camp of Reuben set out, according to their armies. Over their army was Elisur, the son of Shedeur. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Simeon was Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Gad was Eliasaph, the son of Deuel. Then the Kohathites set out, carrying the holy things. The tabernacle would be prepared for their arrival. And the standard of the camp of the children of Ephraim set out, according to their armies. Over their army was Elishama, the son of Ammihud. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Manasseh was Gamaliel, the son of Pedasur. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Benjamin was Abidan, the son of Gideoni. Then the standard of the camp of the children of Dan, their rear guard of all the camps, set out according to their armies. Over their army was Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Asher was Pagiel, the son of Ochran. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Naphtali was Ahira, the son of Enan. Thus was the order of march of the children of Israel, according to their armies, when they began their journey. Now Moses said to Hobab, the son of Reuel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, "We are setting out for the place of which the Lord said, 'I will give it to you. Come with us, and we will treat you well, for the Lord has promised good things to Israel.' And he said to him, 'I will not go, but I will depart to my own land and to my relatives.' So Moses said, 'Please do not leave, inasmuch as you know how we are to camp in the wilderness, and you can be our eyes, and it shall be, if you go with us, indeed it shall be, that whatever good the Lord will do to us, the same we will do to you.' So they departed from the mountain of the Lord on a journey of 3 days, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them for the 3 days' journey, to search out a resting place for them. And the cloud of the Lord was above them by day, when they went out from the camp. So it was, whenever the ark set out, that Moses said, "Rise up, O Lord, let your enemies be scattered, and let those who hate you flee before you." And when it rested, he said, "Return, O Lord, to the many thousands of Israel." So yes, this is the second departure of Israel. The first departure was from the land of Egypt on the first Passover. And there we were told that God was giving it to them as the new beginning of time, that they were to count their years from. So last time, when they journeyed out, it was told us in the book of Numbers that it was the 10th day of the first month of the first year. And now it's the 20th day of the second month of the second year. I don't know why it's sort of emphasized so strongly, but I found it interesting that they have left funds from Egypt, and they have been encamped for a year and a month and 10 days in Sinai. And now they are first time leaving according to all the orders that we have learned before. So now we sort of see the fulfillment of all the chapters we have read this far in the book of Numbers and in the books of the end of Exodus and the book of Leviticus, that now they are leaving according to how God had ordered them. And I like it how Moses is trying to speak his father-in-law to join them. It seems that he is resisting, but Moses knows that God has promised something good for them. God has promised to take care of them. God has promised to do something new. And he wanted his father-in-law to partake of that great blessing. And I think the same should go for us as well. God has promised something great for us. He has promised us a life, and life everlasting. And we should be excited to compel people to join us on the journey. That we wouldn't just leave them be in their lives as they are, but we would persist in calling them and telling of the great promises of God, of the great hope we have in God. And I love the way the chapter ends, the callings of Moses. I wonder if he received those from God, or if those were something that he came up with, or if someone else. He was saying that whenever the ark set out, he said, "Rise up, O Lord, let your enemies be scattered, and let those who hate you flee before you." And that was very true on their journey. Their enemies were scattered. The people around them were afraid, because they knew that living God is going with them. And when they rested, he said, "Return, O Lord, to the many thousands of Israel." Yeah. I'm kind of hoping that we would be able to soon return back to this building and worship God again together. That we would be able to return back here and call for God to return back with us, to be worshipped by us. So these were our chapters today. Next time we will get to chapter 11, and we will get to the excitement of the wilderness wandering, or the misery of it. Let's close with a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we Thank you for your word. We thank you for the great promises, the great hope that we have in your word. Thank you for giving us your word, the Bible, this book that contains so much information, that has so much personal things of you, that teaches us so much about your great, unfailing love for us, and of all that you have suffered in order to save us. Father, whatever we are going through is known to you, and it's little for you. But you never think that it's little, because you see how we feel in the midst of it. And you're there to comfort us. You're there to support us and to give us peace. Father, help us to turn our eyes from our own issues and our own concerns. Help us turn our eyes to you. Because in you we have such a great hope and such great promises. You have promised to prepare a place for us and to one day take us home to heaven and to fellowship with us. You have promised to fellowship with us. Thank you for your great promises. I ask you to lead us this week. Bless our steps. Help us to draw near to you. In Jesus' name. Amen.